Hello, welcome back to Dispatch Tea and Therapy. My name is Lucinda, I'm your host. Today is Thursday, it's Poetry Thursday. And if you've been here before, even though it's been a while, you know what that means. It means we slow down, we sit with something, and we let the words do what words do best. Land somewhere they weren't expected. If you're new here, welcome. You picked a good week to show up, so pour yourself something warm to drink, pour yourself something cool to drink. We're going to talk about a poem that most people think they already know, but they probably don't. Not really, not until you know the story behind it. Today's poem is Invictus, written by William Ernest Henley in 1875. You've probably seen it on a poster, maybe on a mug, maybe it showed up in a movie or a graduation speech and you thought, yes, that's a good line. I am the master of my fate. I am the captain of my soul. Very inspiring. Moving on. Here's what the poster or the mug won't tell you. Henley was 26 years old when he wrote it. He was in a hospital in Edinburgh, the Royal Infirmary, where he had been for nearly 2 years. Tuberculosis of the bone, a disease that had already taken one of his legs when he was a teenager, was now threatening the other one. His doctors wanted to amputate again. He refused. He sought out Joseph Lister, the surgeon pioneering antiseptic technique, and spent the better part of 2 years in that hospital fighting to keep his leg and his life. He wrote Invictus from that bed, not from the other side of it, not in hindsight, from inside it. That changes everything about how you hear the poem. I've been away from this channel for about 4 months, and I'm genuinely back, and not hopefully in a performative way, but in a things are really good kind of way. And I talked about that on Monday. I meant every word of it, but this week we're also starting a harder conversation about what happened in the final chapters of my time at 911, about systems that are supposed to protect people and what happens when it doesn't, and finding out things through public disclosure requests that you should have been told to your face. And I'm not telling that story from a wound. I'm telling it from the other side of it. Invictus lives exactly in that space as well. It is not a poem about never being hurt. It's not a poem about everything working out. It's a poem about what remains, what stays intact when the night is actual night and the pit is an actual pit and someone 26 years old is lying in a hospital bed wondering if he's going to lose his other leg. What remains is the soul, unconquered, not because nothing tried, but because nothing succeeded. So having said that, let's get to the poem of the week, Invictus by William Ernest Henley from 1875. Out of the night that covers me, black as the pit from pole to pole, I thank whatever gods may be for my unconquerable soul. In the fell clutch of circumstance, have not winced nor cried aloud. Under the bludgeonings of chance, my head is bloody but unbowed. Beyond this place of wrath and tears looms but the horror of the shade, and yet the menace of the years finds and shall find me unafraid. It matters not how straight the gate, how charged with punishments the scroll. I am the master of my fate. I am the captain of my soul. The line that I keep coming back to is the one that nobody puts on the poster. My head is bloody, but unbowed. Not, my head is fine. Not, I was never hurt. And not, it all worked out in the end. Bloody, but unbowed. There's something really important in that distinction, because I think a lot of us, especially people who've spent years in high-stakes, high-demand work, have been told explicitly or implicitly that the goal is to be unhurt, to be fine, to absorb whatever the system throws at you and come out the other side looking like nothing touched you. That's not reality. That's not what Henley is saying. He's saying something touched me all right. Something tried, and I am still here. The unconquerable soul isn't the one that was never tested. It's the one that was tested, genuinely, seriously tested, and did not break. I think about the people still inside 911 when I read this poem, because you know the night he's describing. You've worked it. You've answered calls from inside it. You've clocked in for a shift when you were running on empty, and you did the work anyway because somebody needed you to. That is not nothing. That is, in fact, extraordinary. The question Henley is really asking isn't whether you'll survive the hard thing. It's whether you know, really know, that the hard thing doesn't get to define you. The bludgeonings of chance, God, what a phrase. Because sometimes that's exactly what it feels like, right? Not a single dramatic blow, just chance, bludgeoning repeatedly. And you're still standing there. That's the unconquerable soul. Not untouched, unbowed. And I want to say this specifically to anyone watching who's still in 911 or who has recently left it. You have been living inside this poem, the night that covers you, the pit, the bludgeonings, and yes, I mean that word literally because that's what cumulative trauma is. It is not one thing. It's an accumulation of things, call after call, shift after shift, mandatory overtime day after day, year after year. And most of you have never been told that what you're carrying is real, that the weight is real, that the cost is real. And part of why I'm still here, still talking about 911, even though I'm no longer in it, is because I want you to hear this. Your soul is not conquered, even if it feels like it is right now. Even if you're in the hospital bed, metaphorically, fighting for something you're not sure you're going to get to keep. You are still the captain of it. Nobody else gets to be, just you. So here's your soft invitation for this week. Find the thing in your life right now that is asking you to be unbowed, not unbloodied, just unbowed. Maybe it's a system that isn't functioning the way it's supposed to. Maybe it's a process that shifted its own goalposts. Maybe it's just the accumulation of too many nights, too many shifts, too many calls, too many years of being asked to absorb more than any person should have to absorb without proper support. Whatever it is, name it, and then notice you're still here. Your head may be bloody, but look at you. Still talking, still showing up, still becoming your best version of yourself. So, in closing, let's just repeat that one brilliant phrase. I am the master of my fate. I am the captain of my soul. Take care of yourselves until next week. I hope you're finding reasons to find joy and poetry in your life. And if you are enjoying this series, I hope you'll hit like, subscribe, and share. I will see you next week when we talk about more 911 and the toll it takes on people. In the meantime, take care of yourselves.